Hey guys, what's up? My name's Theo. I play middle linebacker for the Hilversum Hurricanes. That is in the Netherlands. That is in Europe. I play Euroball. In fact, coming this next weekend, in 2 days, I'm going to Belgium to play a game. So, welcome to the channel. Every Mondays and Fridays, I do football-related content because that lines up with practices and or games, except for the weird this Saturday. So, in 2 days, there'll be another football video. It may be a little late. Travel back from the thing, back to my computer. Anyways, I'll get into that one in the news section. Every one of these Friday videos starts out the same. Intro, comment responses to football-related content, news, and then we head out to practice. Tonight's going to be a weird practice, as we have a game in 2 days. Christopher Simmons 3 days ago on the Zenith Element shoulder pads, first impression. Hey, I know it's been a while since you posted this video. Not so much. But if you don't mind me asking, what's the shoulder width? It says, I want to buy a pair, but I don't know if large or medium will fit. So I'll do a quickie explanation here for that one. The chart says it should be large, but I have a pair of Riddell Phenom SK shoulder pads in adult large, and they feel like they're too big. Okay, so these are shoulder pads, currently in my practice jersey. Says that, I responded, I'll talk more on this video, the Friday video. But basically, it's Zenith Element shoulder pads. They are medium, right there. That's the size. Whew. Did not air these out. They'll be fine. So, as you can see, they fit me pretty decently for a linebacker. That's why I got them as medium, and they're also Element Hybrid. It's because they got these little things. They're a little wider here. This stuff comes out. They're just a little bit beefier than skill pads. So the idea on how to measure, just see it comes down basically right. I currently have a number in the way on this jersey, but it's this little divot in your shoulder. When you pick your arm up and like all your muscles and your three deltoids kind of wrap around and pick your arm up, but there's that little divot on the inside, that's kind of the point where you measure from. And you measure and you basically stand up, you can raise your arms so you can get from divot to divot, and then you put for instance, you put the tape measure like right here. You pick it up, you make sure it's in the thing, and you make sure that it's taut, and you look at it, and you go, okay, that's that. The key to shoulder pads is the fact that you don't need them to fit super well. It's nice. I was wearing a small. Now I'm wearing a medium. I got a bit huskier from when I started playing football. The smalls felt really big, and then I got more and more muscle and a little bit more fat because I don't go through a cutting phase, ever. So yeah, anyway, that's what you go through. There's this little like divot, when you pick your arm up, it's like right there, kind of at the edge of your shoulders. That's where you measure from. And that's why that has a range on it, because if the range, it's good because it says 18, 19, but if you're like 19 and a half, they may be a little small on you. If you're 17 and a half, they're probably a little big on you. That's why that measurement is on there for inches, because some people may call it different size, although there seems to be a lot of universalness to it. So, fun times. That's how you do that, is you measure your shoulder pads from here. Not all the way on the outside. Some people do that and then you get things that are way too big because the shoulder pads only come down to there. As you can see, they're not measuring this extra. They're only measuring to here, which, like this pad, should be right there, covering your shoulder. As you can see, again, on and off, it goes and covers my shoulder. They don't stick way out here like some people's do, because maybe they're too small and so their arms are sticking out. To be fair, also, these are running back linebacker pads. So, plus, sometimes your jersey is going to compress a lot more. My practice jersey compresses a lot more than my game jerseys. And my old, well, I did try it on with these. My old United States team, that one, it's a compression jersey. So yeah, that's pretty much up with that. That's how you measure your shoulder pads. And again, if they feel a little large, then go for a medium, because you're looking between a large and a medium. I'd say go with medium if they feel large. Unlike a helmet, it's not super critical that they fit very well. The helmet must be one of those that fits really well. But the shoulder pads, you're mostly having your jersey kind of hold that in place, plus the bands. Plus you do kind of want it to move a little bit. You don't want it to, function like, you want it tight, but you don't want it too tight because you want to be able to breathe. So understand that there will be some pliability, some give and take within the shoulder pads. And if for some reason you get the medium and the medium's still too terribly big, get a padded undershirt. It'll add that little bit extra thickness on like the shoulders and the chest and all that stuff. And it'll just add that little bit extra thickness. That might help. Paul Quinones on the game from Sunday. Do you have X-Tech pads? No, I have Zenith pads. Although I did look at the X-Tech pads, and I'm very curious about those. I've seen numerous people wearing them. I'm not necessarily sure, but they do look much more squared off at the shoulders than mine do. Mine come out and kind of drag down. These seem like they'll bump out just a little bit more because they have shoulder cuffs rather than like a shell. Makes sense? So they do look interesting. They do look very useful for, players. I just don't have any. Michael Hutcherson, he says his state flag tournament got canceled last October, and on March 11th, state basketball tournament got canceled due to weather. And I'm like, well, he didn't really say. I said, for panda reasons or something else? The basketball was due to snow, flag was due to COVID. To be fair, the flag, it's COVID. You can't really do much about that. I can be angry about the weather not doing what I want and canceling practices. It has happened here once. We could not practice very well because our field was under construction, reseeding, replanting, and we were utilizing a baseball field, and we had a really, really rainy weather come through, and we just really couldn't practice that much. And several other times there have been it's almost, I remember in the States we had to cancel practice because people couldn't get across Portland. It was too icy. It sucks, and you can be mad at that, but with like COVID, what do you do? It seems to hit so random sometimes and has these little it's like fireworks. You don't know where it's going to hit, and it's like, whereas at least the weather is coming. COVID, it's, like I said, it's kind of random. For news, our game Sunday was a loss against the Lelystad Commanders. Head coach still feels pretty up and up about the rest of the season, but we are drastically low on players because of COVID, and people just generally took 2 years off and got out of shape or realized or moved or retired, and things are hurting. Even they showed up with just as many people as we got. Yeah, Amsterdam Crusaders has a lot, but we've had games canceled and postponed because not enough players. Teams have pulled back from the league for this season because they don't have enough players. Games canceled due to COVID outbreaks on a team. It sucks. I wish this stuff wouldn't happen. This Saturday, in 2 days, we will have a game for the BNL League. It seems kind of experimental league, something above and beyond the Netherlands League because that's Belgium Netherlands League, BNL. People keep saying the Benelux League, but it's just Belgium Netherlands League. So, yeah. I understand that BNL kind of works out as Benelux also, but then you have BNLL, and that doesn't work. So we are going to Belgium on Saturday, and that is fun times. It is an evening game, and it will be televised. So I don't know where the link's gonna be, but I will try to post something in my community tab if I get a link for it. I know one game was, I don't know. I'll try to figure this one out. They say, oh, it will be live streamed. Really? Okay. Where? Oh, well, yeah. And this happens in Germany too. Sometimes they'll say, oh, it will be live streamed. Then you have to go through like this paywall or that paywall. And if it notices that you're like one of the Austrian games I wanted to watch, they're like, oh, you're not in Austria. You can't watch this for free. I'm like, I'm in the Netherlands. I'm still within the EU. And they're like, yeah, well, you know, those times when capitalism kicks your butt. But it's just like the NFL. Sometimes it's really hard to get the NFL games over here without paying out the nose for the international app, just so I could stream it to my television and not have to watch it on my phone. Anyways, so fun times. And then, so that's a road trip and a half. There might be after party stuff around that one. I'm not necessarily sure. So stay tuned for maybe a second video on that one. And then, so the Monday video will be will be just me recovering. And probably the trip back. Might be a double video. Trip down, game day, back, something like that. I don't know how this is planning. I have to get all the footage back to here before I can figure out how the videos are gonna go. So, yeah. I will chat with you guys out at practice. So yeah, I'm gonna finish up lunch here, and we might say hi to Diego and various folks because they've come back from vacation and all that happy jazz. They're bitching about cleats back there. Mikhail and Ilya are out there doing Russian stuff. I'm glad to be back. Yes, man. Even though he has purple on.
It's like the same if you're colorblind, right?
It is. I will admit.
I'm really glad to be back on his ass again. And let's kill Saturday, baby.
Whoa!
Dominate!
That's kind of sus, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Dominate!
Hey, yo!
1, 2, 3.
Play that back!
Hey, yo.
Play that back! That's kind of sus. I ain't even gonna lie, bro.
Crocodile! Ja, crocodile! 1, 2, 3. Crocodiles! Deze fanboy wilde mij, zeg maar, ja Diego, je hebt stik op je helm. Kijk deze Duitser, Wasabi, kijk deze Duitser. Hij heeft zelfs de sokken van crocodiles. Kijk, alles bro. Jij bent een dingetje, deze. Hij heeft een tattoo, hè? Jij bent serieus zo wit, dat jij gewoon Wasabi zegt gewoon. Luister, kijk hier. Kijk crocodiles hier. Crocodile tattoo.